So before we even get to that, the digital experience aspect of it, right? 360-degree camera feed on the driver's instrument cluster, nice in the middle,
Right.
Good, all of that. For all the systems being borrowed from the XUV 700, there is something that felt strange on this car, and you see it as soon as you get going, right? Which is the warnings that it gives, right?
Okay.
So as usual, you have the adjustable chimes for the turn indicators, which are beep, 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 or tonk, tonk.
And you select one of these two.
Yeah, and you can adjust volume, right?
Of the
chimes.
Can you turn them off?
No, that's the problem.
Is that a law thing?
Yeah, it will be the chimes have to happen. But again, there's inconsistency in that.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, so at one time I had the indicator on and the chimes were off. And then in the middle of the turn, suddenly it comes on. Tup, 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 right?
Yeah, I remember driving a Trax Gurkha a long time ago that had this kind of inconsistency with the wipers. If the wipers were off, now and then it would just remind you, hey, I have wipers once.
Are you serious?
And we were so amused we loved this car because it was so rugged and it was so wrong for anybody to buy as a personal vehicle at that point of time. I'm sure they've come a long way. But this wiper thing was really crazy because you're just driving along, dry day, wet day, whatever. You nowhere, no hand has gone anywhere close to the wiper switch. And every now and then it would sort of wake up and it's so funny.
So anyways, thankfully that's not an issue here. Wipers they just work as they're supposed to, thankfully. So the chimes are annoying.
Both of them. The pip pip and the talk talk both are annoying.
I wish I could go even lower in terms of volume.
Okay.
It would be great. And then of course the inconsistency factor that we again spoke about. What's really annoying though is the parking sensor warnings.
Okay.
They are all over the place. Not only are they too sensitive and too worried, because invariably when you're moving in a tight spot and you're not expecting something to go off, right? And this is doing that, it just kind of startles you, right? Like you're not expecting anything there. I can't see anything on the camera, but it goes off. So like what happened once was when we were driving, we were parked at a signal. It was under a flyover. So to my right is the flyover. I'm parked at the signal behind another car. And there's literally nothing around us that's moving because we are cars all parked together. And then the warning goes off from the flyover side. There's nobody there, right? It's sensing movement.
Can we cue the X-Files music at this point of time? Does this car have ESP?
Of course. Yeah.
Does the car have ESP?
Yeah. Not that kind of ESP.
So it's not the electronic stability program. This is the extra sensory perception. The car is seeing X-Files on the right side happening.
Well done. Maybe another neat integration of X.
Maybe it has such strong sensors, it recognized that there was a threat on the other side of the flyover. How would you know?
So, I mean, these are the things that we didn't see in the 700, and that they are here is strange, right? I even switched off the park distance warning, and even then, every now and then, it would just pop off for some reason.
So there are electronic glitches for sure on this car.
Oh, which I missed the biggest one. So this is the top spec variant that we are driving.
So that's the AX7L.
Yes, correct. But it doesn't get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay as of now.
What do you mean as of now?
They're getting certification. They've got certification for the lower variants all the way up to the AX5. But they have not got it for the AX7. And even then, it's not wired Apple CarPlay. I think there's something between...
Even it's not wireless?
Sorry, it's not wireless. I think the Android Auto will be wireless and Apple CarPlay will be wired, something like that. Yeah. And that's why that screen, the infotainment screen right now felt completely useless because that's the one thing you want, right? I mean, if you ask me, the only reason I want a screen in my car today is because now I've gotten used to navigation more than anything else. It's for the navigation. And some of you commented, and it was brilliant, right? The new car buying podcast, right? Somebody said that I want a screen because you know what? I do use my phone and I use a mount to put it on the windscreen and drive around, but the phone gets really hot, right? And today, in current conditions, you would think about that as well.
Of course.
Because it is hot, and if it gets so hot that your phone actually conks off, it's not going to be of help, right? So in that sense, the reason to have a touchscreen in the car today for me is navigation.
Right, period.
Right? Yeah. For that, I would want it, and that's the one thing I don't have in this right now.
Got it.
Right? Resolution of screens and all was good. But anyways, back on the road, to drive, these chimes and alerts were annoying.
Intrusive.
they do spoil the experience, right? This is not something I'd want to deal with every day. And using it with the ADAS system, the ADAS throws up its own set of warnings every now and then. It'll say no overtake zone, 30 kilometers, this, that. It's already flashing something at you through the instrument cluster. All of which is a little...
Why can't we have a more peaceful cabin?
Exactly.
Because I think if this car will go to reasonably new drivers, if not new drivers, because if I remember your budget suggestion from that podcast, you said 7 to 10, 7 being okay, 10 being lots of choice. This car, I believe, sits in that price bracket.
It starts
But
there.
if this car is going to just constantly make you worry by throwing warnings at you.
To me, excellent point, because see what they've also done, and that's the other part of the, that, like I said, that this car, nobody's going to ignore. The design, yes. The cabin experience, yes. And the other thing is the price.
Yeah.
Is it at the higher end, is it the cheapest in its segment? No, it's not. But at the lower end, starting at 7.5 lakhs, what they're offering you for that money, this size of car, with that, even the base engine is a turbo petrol, which is also a quick engine, right? Is really impressive, right?
Except that it will warn you about everything and their uncle.
So the good thing is, in the lower variants, you won't get ADAS, you won't get 360-degree camera. So all this stuff, this noise will not be there.
But think about what Kartikeya implied there, okay? He's basically saying the more features we took away from the 3XO, the better the cabin experience got. Which should also tell you that Mahindra is unable to articulate the experience of the cabin well, because the ADAS guy basically designed their own set of warnings. The indicator guy did their own set of warnings, and the integration of the experience hasn't happened. So this is an extremely noisy cabin in the sense of, not that I'm going to hear the engine and hear the exterior. It's just this car is busy talking to you the whole time.
Yeah.
And as a person who's very talkative, I know that it can be really annoying. What? It's true. I mean, not I am annoying. It can be annoying to have another talkative person in the room.
No, I'm done with my quota of talking over here. The rest of it is all going to be on the main MotorInc channel. Do head out there and like, share, and subscribe.